guys, and welcome to the Bayern View. Big up to absolutely every single one of you, and welcome to the Bayern Munich fan channel here on YouTube called the Bayern View. If you are new, you found this video and you're new, please do hit the subscribe button. We've got a goal of being the biggest Bayern Munich channel other than the official one. So please, if you love Bayern Munich, come have your opinion. That's the main thing. And hit the subscribe button. Now, in this particular live show, what we're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about Max Eberl. Now, last night we did the Grotten show that we do every single Sunday, and basically we're just gonna go off of what basically we were talking about in that particular show tonight. Basically, obviously, Max Eberl hasn't helped himself in the media. He's done an interview, and when you make mistakes, there's nothing wrong with saying certain things, but at times there's just time and a place to actually say certain things. Now, he hasn't exposed himself to the point where it's nothing bad, but in the terms of Bayern Munich, as in the football club, it's just not good enough, to be honest with you. It really isn't. So yeah, we're going to go through that. Smash the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Like I said, we want to be the biggest Bayern Munich channel other than the official channel. So please do hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. Follow us. Obviously, socials are above and always, as always. And yeah, we're going to get into this particular video. I've got another video coming to you guys. I'll actually be in the morning. I'll get that video out for you guys early because that will be Vincent Kompany's done an interview which I want to react to. So I've already got that in another tab which we're gonna go through, and then we'll go from there. Obviously, we play tomorrow, so then we have obviously the game, the match reaction, the preview's got to come out tomorrow as well. Ahmad is literally spamming me while live. Okay. So yeah, big up to everybody. Let's get into the video. So if we go off of this screen, we should bring that up. We will move this one like so, and we will go into this video. So as you can see on your screen, to be fair, we can move it down a little bit because I've moved the thingy, so we can move it down a little bit so it's not completely blocking my big old face. But basically, this is what is being said. So obviously, this is Max Eberl. He is basically one of, if not the main guy for bringing transfers in and getting rid of players. That basically is what he is there for. So yeah, anyway, let's get into this. So he was a guest on this Sport 1 show, and yeah, he's had various things to say and he's exposed himself in some of it, and we're going to go through it. So straight away, if I go over to the tab, he says the first thing he was asked about was the Musiala criticism by Hamann, which is he actually played for us. He's a Didi Hamann. I think he works for Build now, I believe, but basically he just talked a load of shit about Jamal Musiala. And straight away, this one isn't bad. Max Eberl says Jamal speaks for himself. His quality speaks for itself. I think there's no disagreement about that in Germany. I see it as a good omen because Didi Hamann said in 2019 that Robert Lewandowski will be the problem. 1 year later, Robert Lewandowski won everything. So basically, Didi Hamann is nothing short of a fucking clown. But we don't need to talk about him because we're not focused on him today. We're focused on the main guy that's talking, who is also a clown. So let's just get straight into it. I will say it how it is. That's how I've always been. I love this club more than anything. Generally, as Ansar says, the moderator, big up Ansar. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's continue. So yeah, like I said, I will talk about the club how it is because I love this club. I don't I'm not employed by the club, so I'll say it how it is. So then he was asked about Vincent Kompany, obviously being one of the main guys for Vincent Kompany coming in. He said Vincent Kompany is an incredible, empathetic, I believe that's what that says, person that feels, he feels with football with every ounce of his being. Obviously, Vincent Kompany being the centre back. He has a very clear vision of how he wants to play football. That's what we need today. From the human perspective, he knows how to deal with the players, how to accurately communicate his ideas. And then where does it say? Active football, aggressive pressing, and a lot of man-to-man and taking risks. That maybe wasn't the case recently at Bayern, i.e. Thomas Tuchel shots fired. He holds a lot of long, intensive talks with the players. So that's what he's had to say about the manager. Then he was asked, is Vincent Kompany, or was Vincent Kompany the 6th or 7th choice as the manager? He said it's nonsense. He's not going to shit on the man that's there. Okay, fair enough. I have nothing to say to that, because he's not saying anything bad, of course. And then again, Oval says football cannot be revolutionized in the transfer window. I believe that's what that says. My dyslexia is destroying me. But football does not stand still, which I 100% agree. And this is why some of the big boys, they get shit on because they're not where they should be. So it is what it is. Today, all teams can defend well. That's the easiest thing to do. Today, all teams can defend well. Straight away, that's bullshit, because Bayern Munich can't defend. We cannot defend. Like, what are you talking about? You're generally talking at, like, this is the problem, right? And don't get it twisted. I know what he's saying and I know where he's coming from, but like, our defenders are so bad. I want them to succeed. Don't get it twisted. But they're just trash. I'm sorry, but they generally are just absolutely ass. They really, really are. So yeah, I'm not really too sure what he's saying, but I understand what he's saying in the fact that he's saying football doesn't stand still, and other teams, i.e. the badder teams, worse teams, the teams you wouldn't expect, can do well. And then he goes on to say that's why you have to impress the opponents. In the past, we had the wing pair of Robin and Ribery. Oh, mate, you're making me sad. Stop. We are always looking for this individual quality, but you also have to find other things, being active to force the opponent to play long balls. Thomas Muller is currently benefiting greatly from this idea, 100%. He iterates the pressing and is then in a good position. Again, I can't disagree with that. Then on the search for a coach, can you see this? Yes, you can. Perfect. On the search for a coach, he said there was always a ranking list. You start and you write down names of the coaches. At Bayern, it's a different level than in Gladbach. Lots of names were mentioned publicly. I didn't even speak to Unai Emery, for example. We got rejected from Julian Nagelsmann and Ralf Rangnick. We made offers to them, but there were more names on the short list. 15 to 16 coaches. You then have discussions and then make a decision. Vincent Kompany was on this list from the start. Okay, I saw him in Anderlecht. He's a huge talent and a talent as a coach. He was relegated with Burnley, but he always stuck with his style of play. We then made a decision with all of the courage that goes with it. We actually were annoyed that we didn't speak to him earlier. This part, we got rejected from Julian Nagelsmann. he is right, but at the same time, he isn't, if that makes any sense, in the fact of he's right because we did get rejected, but it wasn't just generally because he wanted to be the German manager or whatever. We got rejected because of the board not actually wanting him. Because that deal was basically done. If you believe what Paletti and Fabrizio and all of these big boys in their world are saying, then I'm sorry, like they were literally saying the deal was basically done. So again, it's up to you if you believe that. That's what it is. And then Eberl on whether the players were asked before appointing the new coach. He said we talked about it, but we didn't involve the players in the decision. We were certain that we would find a coach who would fit this team. If you ask the team, you'll probably get 26 opinions, which, to be fair to him, he is right, 1,000%. Like, at the end of the day, if you are to ask, even people on this channel, who you would want, you're going to get a certain amount of the names the same, but you're also going to get a certain amount of different names, which is the problem. It can be a good problem. It can be a bad problem. Smash the likes up. Big up to you. Why have you got that badge? That's interesting. I know why you've got that badge, but surely it should be a Bayern badge, no? Does it show up as a Bayern badge on the stream? Let me send you the link anyway. Right, give you a link. Yeah, what does that show up on the thing? Does it show up with... Okay, it does. That's fucking sick, man. Look at that little badge. That's fucking sick, bro. That's so cool. Oh, yeah, on StreamYard, it doesn't pop up as that. And big up, AK, mate. How you doing? Right, let me send the link. Like so. That's really, yeah, on the thing it just says that it's just got another badge next to the spammer. Yeah, you do have it there. Yeah, right, let me continue anyway. But yeah, no, I 100% agree with this part of the opinion, because it's right in the fact of if you were to ask these players, you're going to get a certain amount of opinions that are all going to be different. They generally just are like that. It just is what it is. Let me save that. So when Emma joins, it's like that. Cool. So yeah, let's get rid of that. And then Harry Kane and his former teammate swapping shirts. Then Max Eberl on having tried to bring Nagelsmann back. He says Julian Nagelsmann remains a great coach for me. We had the feeling that he was not yet done with Bayern. In the past, everybody came, when Bayern called. The market has changed, which I do agree with, 1,000%. I do agree with that, that the market has changed, especially generally for everything. Obviously player prices and everything, with Saudi coming in and China before, a lot of years before in the past, and just the Premier League, like the players going on freeze, player power, loads of shit has changed. And then obviously you then go into positions, like there's not actually that many strikers around. There's a lot more players coming in to like look at Chelsea, for instance. They got a ridiculous amount of players. So I do agree with him in the fact that the market has changed. The coaches have also noticed that there have been a lot of coaching changes at Bayern in recent years, which I understand what he's saying, but at the same time, like, that's for a reason. At the same time, you wouldn't want to work with higher ups that are idiots. So I get that from the perspective of managers that they may have asked. But at the same time, like, you've got to have something about you. To be honest with you, that's the way I see it personally. Anyway, we have to work to get that appeal back. That's because of the higher ups again fucking around with Thomas Tuchel, Julian Nagelsmann. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't go into necessarily Kovac, but I wouldn't necessarily say like he was unfairly sacked. He should have been sacked. But in general, whatever. We will give Vincent Kompany time to be successful together. Again, I also do not agree. I do not agree. I don't think they will. I generally don't think. I think if we go and we lose the league, let's just say the Borussia Dortmund won it. Actually, let's not go Borussia Dortmund because that should be an instant firing because they are our biggest rivals, history-wise anyway. Let's go Leipzig, even though they're scum. Let's just go Leipzig, for instance. So if Leipzig were to win the league and Bayern are nowhere near, Vincent Kompany should be sacked. Okay. If we don't win a trophy and we crash out because of a certain reason, Vincent Kompany should be sacked. I don't believe that they are going to give him the time. They stuck with Thomas Tuchel for some odd reason. I don't know why, but like you can't do that in football anymore. You just can't. Like that's like you stick with managers that work. Like look at Arteta, for instance. All of the fuckboys will be like, yay, Arteta, Super Mick and all of that, but they all celebrate and beating a shit Tottenham team, and they only beat them because of a Tottenham error. So like, yeah, and they come second 2 years in a row. I know it's totally different because the Premier League's harder or whatever or blah 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 blah. But just in general, it's just I just don't understand this. We will give him time. Of course, you're not going to come out in the media and say, yeah, if he doesn't win the league, he's sacked, because then Vincent Kompany's going to see that, and then he will probably have a ridiculous amount of pressure to go win the league, win this, win that, so on and so forth. You're not going to do that. But it's just so dumb, and it makes no sense why you would say, again, similar to not saying anything about Vincent Kompany in a bad way, why you would say this. It makes no sense. It really, really doesn't. I don't believe they're going to give him the time. I just don't. Let me like that. Actually, no, let's not like it. Let's save it. Because if he doesn't give him that time, then I'm going to be coming straight for him. Because I generally believe that they're going to screw Vincent Kompany over with not giving him the time if he does fail, because they've set him up to fail because he's got no centre-backs. Let's continue. Then Max Eberl spoke about the new Champions League format. He said, I'm excited. It was a bit torn, but I've been excited since the draw. It's a different feeling. 100% I agree. You're playing against 8 opponents rather than playing against 4 opponents home and away. And obviously it's more of a league phase, if you want to say. Then others are playing against completely different opponents. It'll be exciting until the last match day. I do also agree with that in the fact that you don't actually know what's going to happen. For instance, let's just use Man City, for instance. If Man City were to lose the first 2 games or draw 1 game and lose the next 2, you know pretty much they're crashing out. You know what I mean? With Bayern Munich, for instance, obviously that didn't happen to City. That was an example. But with Bayern Munich, for instance, we were always undefeated. So we would always go through and always be top. Well, most of the time anyway. In the past, the top 2 teams were usually decided after 4 games. Exactly. We want to win against Zurich 100%. We're going to do that tomorrow, and I can't wait. That's, of course, a given for FC Bayern, which, again, I agree with. Then he spoke about the title race. He said, I have respect for the competition. You should always have that as an athlete. We have competitors like Leverkusen, Dortmund, and Leipzig who have always reached the Champions League in recent years. Again, he's not wrong, but I think it helps in the fact that we got the 5th spot or whatever it is. We've always got more teams in the Champions League than, I believe, England or the Premier League, shall I say. So whatever. Then he goes on to say, I think the Bundesliga has become very exciting. I also do agree with that in the fact that I always thought it was exciting, but for overall fans, let me bring on that. For overall fans that don't necessarily watch the league, now it's going to be more exciting for them But we've been known, like, yes, we won it 11 years in a row, but since 2020, so what's that? That's 4 years. We haven't won the DFB Pokal. We've crashed out to opponents. Realistically, we shouldn't have crashed out to. So, like, I'm a bit iffy with that one, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, big up Ahmad. We are motivated and want to bring the trophy back to Munich, which again, obviously, and to be fair, yeah, that should just be expected, to be honest with you.
Like, that's already a no-brainer. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to say that, Bernie.
No, it doesn't.
And I think I said it before. If it does take a rocket scientist, then you're living under a rock.
Literally, yeah. Literally. Right, let's continue. Nope. And then Max Eberl on the pressure to sell players in the summer. He goes on to say, we don't have an investor. Bayern Munich worked it all out themselves. Other clubs have sheiks or Arabs involved. Okay. He's not wrong. He's not wrong, but okay. We have to sell. We have to sell to have funds. Oh, okay. Yeah. We have to sell to have funds.
Yeah, you're trying to say we have to sell players to buy. But even then, you already had money.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Like, he's not wrong. Like, if you wanted to get a ridiculous amount of players in, then you have to sell to buy. And he's also not wrong saying that we don't have sheiks or Arabs. 100% we don't. But at the same time, what we do have is the fact that we have the attendance most of the time, if not all of the time, especially home games. It is ram-packed in the Allianz Arena. So that's money coming in, 1,000%. Then you have the sponsorship deals and all of this and all of that. So, again, he's not wrong, but he also is talking out of his arse.
Well, can I just say something about the Arab thing? Like, quickly, it's just very quick.
Yeah,
Back then, they used to be sponsored by Qatar.
Yeah, we had
Qatar Airways on the sleeve. So, listen, I know we aren't right now for, like, I think the past 2 years. However, you can't be just mentioning Arabs like that as if you never got backed by Arabs in the past. I actually think, low-key, this guy's joined the club without learning a bit of history of our club.
Fair.
And I mean little bit of it, because to be fair, he has somewhat of a knowledge about what Bayern's about. I will give him that. It's just a little bit more studying, bro. You know, maybe it'll make him look like more of a smartass than he is anyway. Just have to put that out.
But then he goes on to say, if we don't get the income we hoped for, then I wouldn't be able to do other things. This is a completely normal process. We are a big club that stands together and where discussions take place at the highest level. Highest level of clowns, yes. I'm sorry, but other than Jamal Musiala coming in, Alphonso Davies, I will name him because when we brought him in, it was a very great deal. And then if you're thinking big money buys, Harry Kane is the only one I can think of right now that was massive money. Other than that, it's a bit.
De Ligt if he stayed.
De Ligt. When we brought him in, yeah, I agree.
Lucas Hernandez, if he didn't snake us, but he did. There are names. Don't get it twisted. It's just they haven't worked out for different reasons.
Yeah. He said we stand together to serve at the highest level. Nevertheless, we have to have a clear balance sheet so that FC Bayern can still be at this level for 15 or 20 years. Again, you know what that means when he says that. He's basically saying we will not spend a ridiculous amount of money and go out there and blow 400 million out because we want to sustain this level. So we will be as stingy, like it's a billionaire that's stingy. We will be stingy as much as we possibly can be, i.e. get players in like Lewandowski on a free, get players in so on and so forth on a free. Jonathan Tah, for instance, probably will come in on a free like we did with Hummels, like we did so on in the past. That's basically what he's saying. We'll do that because...
Yeah, you know what the problem with that is?
Yeah, it is a problem, 1,000%.
You know what the problem with that is?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically him saying, oh, well, then I want to win next year, not this year.
I can see it from that
This
point.
is the problem, bro. Like, if you think about it, so you're saying I'm not willing to spend money because I want to get them either for free or a very cheap price. Well, either you're gonna get them for that price in the later year, which is most likely the one on for free. Like, for example, Jonathan Top. You're more likely to get them for free next year than if you got them for cheaper now. That's what they're looking at. But the problem is that means the chances of us winning is lower now than it is later. And this is the problem. And then, even then, if it's later, what if there are other issues within the squad that happens? What if some players leave for their already hypothetical question? And again, I have to point out, I'm not a hypothetical guy, but in some instances, it's very important to bring it up. What if we lose out to Joshua Kimmich for free? What if Man City or Real Madrid, they came up, listen, or Barcelona even, because Flick, listen, we like your Musiala, and maybe you haven't won now, and we haven't won now, by the way. Oh, Musiala, you know what, we didn't win fuck all here. I'm going to fuck off from Bayern. I'm going to go to one of these clubs that actually want to win.
Yeah.
I don't think the board, Eberl, Fruin, I don't think they think about these things like how we do. I think they just look at it as like, oh, listen, we have these guys. Yep, yeah, we have these guys. Some of them have experience. Some of these guys have the potential and the quality to do this, and that. If we don't, like, they'll be like, oh, we have to improve on that. But if we don't improve on that, you know what? Just to save our money, we can rely on them, no problem. They're trying to be calculated, but in reality, it's not going to work.
Well, no, I'll tell you what straight it is. You haven't said anything wrong there, but they are thinking like businessmen. They're not playing it like they are fans. That's the problem. Now, don't get
this is
twisted.
The problem.
Yuri is a fan of this club. He also was a player, but at times they've got it wrong. And that's why earlier, when they were talking about managers, there was like 16 on the list, blah, blah, blah. The reason that there were so many on the list is because they knew full well that they were going to get rejected by this manager, that manager, because they've screwed so many managers over. So what manager's going to be like, yeah, I'm here to get screwed over? They're not idiots. These managers are still human beings, you know? So it's just dumb. But yeah, let's continue either way. I will get into the comments as well. So if you want to put some comments in, either
smash the likes as well, man.
Yeah, 100% smash the likes. But yeah, if you want to put the comments in, please do. I will go through those after. So yeah, that's basically what he has had to say on that. Then he was asked about or spoke about the criticism after a trophyless season, where he went on to say Bayern Munich won the title for 11 years. Now that we're not champions this last season, everything was viewed very, very critically. We are taking, the blows head. I'm guessing he's saying like we're taking it head on. I think that's what he's saying. For that, this is the statement from Bayern Munich, not Max Eberl. So basically what he said is that they've seen and they understand that it's time to rebuild, basically. But it's just not good enough, to be perfectly honest with you, because, like, I'm sorry, if let's just say Borussia Dortmund, no one wants to see it. No one on this earth that is a Bayern Munich fan wants to see Borussia Dortmund win the league yet again. But the problem is, if it was Dortmund, you could kind of understand it a little bit more. It would be sore. It would be shit. I do not want to see Dortmund ever win a trophy. I hope the BVB lads fucking go trophyless like Arsenal. But the problem is,
yikes.
The problem is with it is the fact that if they would have won it, it would have been fair enough, because they come so close on the last day last time. Jamal Musiala went and won it for us. They bottled it, and then we won the league. If they then built up on it, just like with the Liverpool City, kind of different, but just like obviously Liverpool got really close but didn't do it, then and they did do it the next year, then it would make sense. But it was Bayer Leverkusen that come in, took the fucking spot, literally come in, smashed everybody over the head, and was like stealing their shit, like in London right now. Like, what the fuck's going on? It makes no sense. So that's why it's such a fucking fuck. And they did it undefeated just to fucking add another fucking thing on top of it. They literally
that pisses me off on its own right, man.
You know? But yeah, anyway, let's continue. Eberl on Kimmich's return to the midfield this season. He said, we felt with the way we want to play football, Joshua fits better in the midfield in order to bring his qualities. We also have two natural right backs in Sancho Boy and Josip Stanisic. Therefore, the departure of Mazraoui was only logical because 3 right backs would have been too much. Now, obviously, we're not going to get into what Ahmad is thinking because he thinks that we got rid of Mazraoui for different reasons. And that, that's not, we don't need to get into that. But at the same time, I also think it's very stupid to get rid of Mazraoui, even though he might be injured now for Manchester United, because Stanisic is now injured. And now, I don't know if any of you guys know this, but Sancho Boy is now injured. He will not play tomorrow because he's injured. So it's just fucking stupid, quite honest with you.
Yeah, Kimmich is going to be right back, I can tell.
Yeah, probably, yeah. So that's what he's had to say on that one. Whatever. Then he confirmed that Bayern Munich want to extend Kimmich's contract. Okay, that's fair enough. I wasn't expecting them to not do it. He said, we spoke to Joshua clearly. This is an important time for him. We made it clear to him that he should become one of the faces of Bayern Munich. We will aim for an extension. It's a big topic for us. Joshua feels very comfortable in Munich. We told him whether he still has the fire for Bayern Munich, and he still has it. I won't talk about contrary details here. So he's not going to talk about various other details in it, but he's basically confirming that we will be getting Joshua Kimmich on a new deal, which, again, realistically, none of us should be surprised on. Like, you shouldn't be surprised that Joshua Kimmich's going to stay. So yeah, again, nothing surprising, but whatever. The only thing that annoys me with that, and especially with the last statement as well, with the whole him going to the midfield, I just feel like either Stanisic or Polina is gonna be not at fault, but the sacrifice in that. Then he spoke about Goretzka. We spoke about Goretzka in the press conference reaction that we did earlier. I think that this whole Goretzka thing is generally just being taken out of context now. Like, it generally has been taken out of context now. We're not talking about Harry Kane, Erling Haaland, Lionel Messi, Pele, Maradona. We're not talking about fucking really good players here. We're talking about Leon Goretzka, who was good for Bayern Munich at a certain extent, won us everything in the midfield with a Thiago. Thiago left, and ever since Thiago left, he's been shit. So it just is what it is, and that's just saying it how it is, generally. But anyway, he then went on to say, I told him clearly that it would, sorry, my dyslexia is destroying me today, that it would be difficult for him. That's our job. He's behaving well. I really respect him as a person. Sometimes things can change. The best example is Serge Gnabry. He took on the fight and is now a regular starter, which I do agree with again. I don't think Goretzka, even if he was to go at his best, takes out Polina or Kimmich, though. So, cool, it's another option to go off the bench if he goes back to his best, but the likelihood is he's not, because he ain't going to get the minutes. This is the problem. Do you want to add anything onto that, mate? Or shall we move on to the next bit?
I don't even know what's happening anymore with Goretzka. One time he's in, one time he's out, one time he's in, one time he's out. I give up, bro.
Yeah, no, 100, bro. I can see why.
If I was him, bro, he should consider going to Atletico Madrid or Napoli.
Yeah, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to go. I really don't. Like, you've won everything here. Why stay? It makes no sense.
I mean, we already mentioned it during the window many times. It's the fact that he's
the money.
yeah.
But he's been on that money for a long time now. So realistically, he should have enough money. Like, unless he's an idiot with it, which I don't believe he is. So, anyway, let's continue. Yeah. Then he spoke about Jamal Musiala's future. He said, of course, we want to extend Jamal's contract. That's not a secret. Talks are already underway and will be intensified. Jamal should be the face of FC Bayern Munich. Will it be difficult? Yes, but it's not impossible. Excuse me. Jamal knows what he has in FC Bayern Munich. It's the club that took him to this level. We are ambitious. We want to win titles just like Jamal. Bayern's goal is to keep Jamal on the salary. Bayern will still pay top wages in international comparison, but maybe not as much as many players across the squad, which is important. Again, I know me and Ahmad have different opinions on that, and that's the whole point of the channel. But no matter what that opinion is, this guy, I don't want him ever to get his ego inflated. I don't think he's that guy. I think he's actually very down to earth if you watch interviews, videos, whatever. But I just don't even want to risk it because his best friend is an egotistical prick. So I don't want to risk it completely. But yeah, that deal, like Joshua Kimmich, yes, 1000%. That is something that needs to be done. But one thing that needs to be done straight up is Jamal Musiala, because these big boys are going to be coming for him, and we're shit on for it if they do come in for him and then he changes his mind. Now we talk about the delusional part of what this prick has had to say. I don't want to get into it, but we've got to. We realistically should be talking about tomorrow's game, but this had to be put out there because it's important to get other people understanding what's actually happening with this club and not just seeing it as a results business, because you don't get those results if you don't get the players in. Simple as that. Yeah. Eberl on the fan reaction to the ligt sale. He said, I followed it, including the petition. I know that many fans are identified with him. Nevertheless, I had to make a decision because we also had to sell players. Okay, we felt more comfortable with Upamecano and Kim because they can defend higher up on the pitch, and then an offer came in for de Ligt. Now, before I start ranting, one thing that pisses me off is the fact that he mentions the petition. But even before that, I understand where he's coming from at like just taking pride out of it, whatever. Vincent Kompany likes to play with a higher line. The way he's seeing it is that Upamecano and Kim are quote unquote faster. That's the way I'm seeing it personally, is that they're faster centre backs, so they would be able to play that. Now, one thing that needs to then be said is they might have the attribute of speed over de Ligt, but de Ligt has brains. De Ligt generally has the ability to be one of, if not the best centre backs going forward. And now he's not with us. Now, obviously, that potential has never reached since the Ajax days. Juventus didn't work. Bayern didn't work. I don't think it will work at United, just because they're already calling him the fucking Dutch Maguire. Like, what the fuck is going on? So that's one thing. Again, on this petition thing, this is what annoys me, because if he doesn't mention it, it makes a lot more sense to say, okay, we blah blah blah, we feel comfortable, blah blah blah. Like it just makes more sense. But the fact that he mentions it, he knows full well that the de Ligt petition was there and he was following it. Like, again, even knowing the fact of even knowing about it is one thing, but he was following it. Like, so he would have seen how many people were signing that petition, yet you still let that player go. I just don't understand. Why not push out Leon Goretzka instead? Like, literally, I've just typed in de Ligt petition, right? And the One Football app is reported that 60,000 Bayern Munich fans signed that petition calling for him to be kept. Like 60,000. We're not on about 6 people. We're not on about 6,000 people, 600 people. 60,000, bro. That's most of our stadium. That's literally most of our stadium. Like, that's what's pissing me off with this, and that's why it's titled Bayern Munich's Max Bubble has no clue, because he generally has no clue. It just makes no sense. Now, if people want to come out there and say that De Ligt hasn't been good, this and that, that's an opinion, and that's fine. It's just when the higher ups come out and mention it, it pisses me off. And then to go on about the fact that they feel more comfortable with Upamecano and Kim, it's just so dumb. I've been saying it for the longest. I knew De Ligt was going to be sold. I generally did. I didn't want him to be, but I was literally saying it on shows after shows after shows while the Euros were on, saying that they want those wages gone, and they know that they can get more money for him. The only problem is they didn't get the money for him. Like 40 odd million is a ridiculous amount of money for De Ligt. We should have got way more. So yeah, that's what he's had to say. Let's move on because I want to get through all of it. Then Eberl on signing Hiroki Ito. He said we definitely wanted to have a left-footed player in the back line in order to be more flexible in the build-up. Then there was a situation with number 19. We decided not to extend his contract yet. And then he says Hiroki can play on the left as well, left back. We approached it with a long-time perspective. Hiroki is an underrated player and was a key player in Stuttgart, which he's 100% on. Obviously, they weren't expecting the freak accident. We might not even be talking in this term if he was still playing. The only problem is he's not. You can't say anything about knowing like he hadn't had that injury before. It's a freak injury, whatever. Hopefully when he comes back, he's as good as he was and we can get on and he can make a career because he seems like a really good player and I want to see him go for Bayern Munich. The only problem here, they said that there was a situation with number 19. Now, he said we decided not to extend his contract yet, which I thought was very interesting that he's decided to say that on the interview because they know full well why he has not extended that. They know why. Like, no matter what anyone's opinion, Ahmad's opinion, your guys' opinion, my opinion, whatever, they know that he wants to leave. So it's interesting that they've said we've decided not to extend it, not he's decided not to. Yeah, exactly.
There you are. There you are.
Maybe we're reading into it too much in words, but generally that's
no. They're not reading too much. You know why? Because bro, these man been flip flopping with the Davies thing. Listen, I said it in the summer. I didn't mind him staying as long as he signs a new deal. But I'll be honest, I don't think he's signing no new deal. As much as I don't hate Davies like how you and YouTubers do, but if you don't want to be here, don't be here, bro. That's the number one rule of being football fan. You should think if you don't want to be here, don't be here. And this is what I have to do, man.
1,000.
So goodbye, Davies, man.
Yeah.
But if he signs a new deal, then happy days. I'm glad you changed your mind.
The problem
but you better win respect back. That's how I see it.
Yeah, no, I 100% respect your opinion. I understand where you're coming from full term. The only problem with it, not your opinion, but in that, is if it extends it, for you, it's cool, he's staying, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think he extends unless they give him an astronomical amount of money.
That's very true. That's very
true. For instance, what they did with Aubameyang, Arsenal and Aubameyang. They give him a ridiculous amount of money, and he just didn't want to be there. So that's personally how I see that. Anyway, then he spoke about Jonathan Tah. He was asked, will Bayern sign Jonathan Tah next year? Max Eberl then come out and said he's out of contract in 2025. German international, played a big role in Leverkusen's title campaign last season. That's it. I'm extremely happy with Kim and Upamecano. And then he was asked a follow-up question, is a deal with Tah to come? Is there a deal with Tah to come to Bayern Munich next year? He said no. Now, again, he's not going to come out in the media just in case Jonathan Tah does change his mind. Jonathan Tah has generally been at Bayer Leverkusen for a long-ass time, so he might want to stay eventually. But the way I see it, I think he's starting on a free. I really, really do. Again, I understand you're going to protect your boys, and it's like you want to big up your players, not other players, and so on and so forth. But what is this? Like, I'm extremely happy with Kim and Upamecano. Bro, Kim is a bit par player of what he was in Napoli. I hope he can get that confidence back up and become that player that we once wanted and what he once was at Napoli. But he hasn't been that guy. I'm not trying to hate on him. Definitely not. And Upamecano is literally the centre-back version of Paul Pogba, Manchester United, and France. He plays amazing for France.
There you are.
Comes to Bayern Munich, and he is dog shit. Generally, we were playing pro clubs earlier. You guys won't know it, but we were playing pro clubs with a couple of other lads, right?
Oh, yeah,
What were we doing? We were keeping it simple, okay? And what I mean by that is we were literally just passing when we can pass. This guy makes stupid mistakes that he shouldn't make. 1,000%. He gets so troubled on the ball that he's got about 72 different ideas in his head, and the next minute he fucking poots the ball up. And
yeah, man.
Like the mistakes he makes, it's too much. Now mistakes are in life. Everybody knows it. They are. But at the same time, that's the problem in the fact that you get rid of De Ligt. I've called Stanisic, Ito. Realistically, we didn't know they were going to get injured. So realistically, we should have 5 centre-backs. Eric Dyer, Kim, Upa, Stanisic, Ito. But the problem is injuries are part of this game, unfortunately. They just are. You know what I mean? So go and get a bloody player. You know what I mean? Just like, it's so dumb. It makes no sense. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
Then he was asked on why Jonathan Tah wasn't signed this summer. He said, we negotiated. Leverkusen gave us a deadline and a price. We couldn't meet either of those. It was only 48 hours and it was too tight for us, and we didn't generate the income to be able to afford him. That is a crock of shit because they sold De Ligt and they sold, like, this deadline is bullshit. This isn't like a fucking father saying to his daughter's boyfriend, get my daughter back by fucking 10 p.m. because otherwise I'm going to come out with a baseball bat and beat you around the head. Like, we're talking about multiple millions of euros. Like, come on now. You're telling me that if we went in for, what was it? It was 25 plus 5, I believe.
Jonathan Tah.
Yeah, for Jonathan Tah. I believe it was 25 plus 5 million.
So 30 million package, yeah.
Yeah, if you go straight in 30 million, they're not going to reject it. We just didn't want to. We were playing the stinge game, which this man up here was saying the whole time. Stop being stingy. This guy was saying it. And I agree with him 1,000%. And then obviously look what's happened if we didn't go and get him. So, hey-ho. It is what it is. And then that is that. So, if you're watching this live, let me know what you think on what we've had to say on Eberl, what Erbel's had to say, your opinion. If you're watching this after it's been live, let me know in the comments and we'll reply to those. Also, now we're going to go back to this screen and we're going to go through the comments and then we will get out of here. Big up to everybody. Smash the thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button, all of that good stuff. We're trying to become the biggest Bayern Munich channel other than the official one. So yeah, make sure if you haven't already, hit the damn subscribe button. Bro, you need some more drink, mate. You got about 1,700 ice cubes in that cup.
Hey, you know what? So I don't pass out while we watch Raw. I may as well.
Yeah, hundreds, man. We don't need another meme coming. Anyway, I think De Ligt was most sellable. Can't say that publicly though. Yeah, no, 100%. And I generally think that is the case. And that's why, you know, the whole news was coming around the fact that they were looking to get rid of him in the fact of wages, cut the wages because it was ridiculous wages, which they put him on, by the way. And then, obviously, he was the better centre-back. So you sell the best one to, you know. But it just makes no sense to not get a replacement. It's like us selling Jamal Musiala and bringing in Kai Havertz. Like, that isn't a no-no. Like, you can't bring in a world-class star who could be one of the best players of all time to then bring in some draft-looking motherfucker. Like, it makes no sense. It generally makes no sense. But yeah, like Ansar says, if you haven't already, smash the thumbs up and please subscribe. We, like I said, are trying to become the biggest Bayern Munich channel other than the official page, which is obviously Bayern's channel. Again, big up to AK. What is AK saying? Harry Kane broke Haaland's Bundesliga record, I heard. Yes. Yeah. There's levels to this, bro. There's levels to this. Haaland is a fantastic player. He is, and what he's doing in the Premier League is a joke. It really is. But Kane is becoming ridiculous in this league. He really, really is. And I can't wait.
He was a Dortmund, bro. That's the scary part.
Yeah. He's playing a better style of football compared to Tuchel. You're talking about Vincent Kompany, 1000%. Yes.
Oh yeah, 100.
Not that it takes much, but okay, yeah, 1000%. Right. Kim and Upamecano are an upgrade. On
who?
On de Ligt. I would have to disagree. Obviously, that's your opinion, but I would have to disagree. I don't think either of them can touch de Ligt when de Ligt is at his best. I really, really don't. So, Tar for free is great, but we need someone in January. 1000%, Kristen. 1000%. Yes. If I wouldn't get copyrighted, I would play a whole video of Daniel Bryan doing the yes movement, because literally we need someone in. Even if it's not the best player and it's someone on loan, like just gets another body in that can come and perform for Bayern Munich.
By the way, I don't want to be that guy, but
yeah, go.
I know Jonathan Tah had that game against Netherlands the way he had, but other than that game, have you noticed a little bit of improvement compared to the last season and the Euros?
Yeah, he's mate. Like, I think a lot of people were just very. To answer your question, yes, and then to follow up it with a different answer, I generally think he is a really, really good player. I just think a lot of people were so shocked and hurt of us selling de Ligt and us losing de Ligt and bringing in Tar.
Could you
imagine de Ligt and Tar? I know they were both a little bit slow, but could you generally imagine those two in the centre back partnership? That is fucking amazing.
I'm not gonna lie. I think de Ligt and Tar partnership would complement one another, if you ask me, because Tar isn't one of those high IQ guys, but he's
big, he's physical.
He's on you, bro. You know which game stood out to me, but people won't say much about it. The game against Spain, he was on Morata's ass all game.
100%, bro.
He was on him all game, despite losing. Like, I actually low-key think Tar had a better game than Rudiger. And that's saying something.
Yep.
But I will say, though, I still don't think he is an upgrade on de Ligt. I think de Ligt different gravy.
But unfortunately, we're not going to see that combo because they sold him like a knob.
Should have been Kim and Jay and de Ligt anyway.
Literally. We are winning this year. I really hope you're right.
Hopefully.
We are the most complete squad.
No.
In the UCL. No. I wouldn't say that. I think Man City have a better squad. I think Real Madrid have a better squad than us. I actually would say other teams have better squads than us as well, to be honest with you.
You know what I think? I'll tell you the teams who I think have a better squad. Real Madrid, better squad. I know they don't have a defender, but let's be honest, at least they find a way. Man City, come on now. Like, their squad, all they did is add Savinho and Gundogan. Best looking squad now. You know? I think we got better than Arsenal. I think we got better than actually Barcelona. I think it's even. I would say Barcelona is even because they don't have a DM.
I would say our attack's better, but other than that, I understand what you're saying.
No, I think it's as good. Come on, Lamine Yamal, even Lewandowski under Flick and Olmo together, they're doing something. We have to give them credit where I think our game against them
I agree. I agree. I just think in the fact of like they don't have a Jamal. Like 2020 Gnabry is better than Yamal. I think Yamal is overrated. I really do.
No, I think Yamal is cool. You know what the problem with Yamal is? You know what the problem with Yamal is? He needs to improve his end product. But otherwise, his ability to cook somebody up.
Without a doubt. He's got great ability, but I believe he's overrated, in my personal opinion anyway.
I can see what you're saying is over because people are saying next coming Messi and all that. That I hear you. However, I still think he is a baller, bro.
Bro, I give it 2 to 3 years, and I think he will be playing for Brighton just like Ansu Fati was.
Imagine if that's the case, that would be the biggest downgrade ever, bro. because they had like this Messi, the picture of Messi holding Yamal thing to like say, oh, but this is the next incoming Messi and all that stuff. If that actually happens, I swear to God, that would be the biggest fall off
100.
of a football take.
Tony is training, I believe. To no
Leroy
man.
Sané is elite. Hey, Liam, you have problems on your hands. I'll be right back.
No worries. Goretzka has field press. He does, but he doesn't have quality. That's the problem. That's the problem. You put Goretzka on Haaland because Haaland cannot dribble. No, I get what you're saying, but I would say that João Palhinha can do that. Like João Palhinha had a good game against most teams last season. De Ligt is just a starter for the Netherlands. That's it. He's recognisable, but just because he's a star in the Euros doesn't mean he's that elite. No. He hasn't showed that elite level either at Bayern, but just the fact of him being a better player than both the other ones. Real Madrid literally built their team to sign number 19. Okay. Pitiful Madrid. Big up, Cole. How you doing? We have Harry Kane. We sure do. Bayer Leverkusen is just first and clock management, but they cannot contain our elite talent because we have a modern manager. You're not wrong, but the problem is, right, this is generally how I see it. I see momentum in our team. I see a manager that wants to attack, wants to press, wants to just keep the ball. Ahmad said it in our watch along when we were watching the most recent Bayern Munich game. He come out and literally said that he was saying they're doing what Pep does they're putting in literally the challenge just to keep the ball, keep ball as much as we possibly can. The only problem is I don't know if Vincent Kompany has got every single player playing for him right now. Where by Leverkusen, every motherfucking player is playing for that club. And I mean playing with respect for the badge. If you look at them last season, the amount of late minute goals that they got is ridiculous. And that's because of the fluidity and them playing all together. Like Xhaka, for instance. You know, their centre-backs, Tapsoba, Tar, you know, they've got Boniface up top. Verts, like all of their players were building to push on, and look what they did. There's a reason they went undefeated, put it that way. It's not lucky to go undefeated like the way they did. That there was a reason for that. They were all together, 100%. For the style we are running, Kim has a lot of movement that blocks shorter players. Leroy Sané is elite. I disagree, 1000%. I think I generally think he's a half-season wonder. I think he plays good for half a season and then he dips. You know, people see me as that is me hating. Like, if I could find it, I know where it is, but it would take too long to get it. I have a pop figure of Leroy Sané. Like, everyone seems to think I hate Sané. It's not that I hate him. I expect a lot from Sané and he doesn't deliver, so I say it how it is. Simple as that. I don't think he's elite. I think if he stops being a moany little bitch and actually plays a full season, he can 100% be elite. I think people got to see it in the way that when Pep Guardiola gets rid of a fucking player, he does it for a reason. Yes, he had a spat with Sané. Sané, left. We give them a ridiculous price for Sané. Obviously, it come out of nowhere, but we give them a ridiculous price. Then we move on to obviously, look at all of the players that Pep's got rid of. Sterling hasn't been the same without them. Mahrez hasn't been the same. Obviously, he's playing in a different league. He's probably more finished. But in general, I'm just saying, like, these players, you know, João Cancelo, obviously he's just signed for Ahmad's Saudi club. But, like, you know, they're just not the same. They're really not. And I generally think it will be the same when Jack Grealish leaves as well. I don't think he'll get back to his best. I really, really don't. But anyway, let's continue.
You know what annoys me quickly about the Sané issue? Like the way how I think, or not the reason why I think he is performing the way he's performing comes down to why Pep got rid of him. Attitude, bro. Like, you know yourself, you joined us with an ACL injury a year prior. Like, could you at least not have some fucking humility about you? Like, when you play, like, I feel like when he plays, he doesn't have humility at all.
Yep.
And this is why he stinks the joint. It's like, how many times do we see Leroy Sané make bad decision after bad decision after bad decision in front of goal? He passes when he needs to shoot. He shoots when he needs to pass. Why? He makes these decisions because he overthinks too much. Why? Because of his arrogance prior. I can see right through this bullshit. I can see right through it. And it's just so annoying. You could tell me all you want that, you want to win. You want to work hard every day. You want to do this. That's what he was saying. I remember I done a video on this channel for you talking about his interview to talk about these things. And I said it's all good saying this, but you need to show it. He has not shown enough of it. This is why I don't get when that guy just said he's elite. He's not, because if he was really elite, he'd actually show the mentality of being elite. But he's not. Does he have the potential to be with certain qualities that he has? Sure. But he just doesn't show it because of... But this is why I say this is more important than talent.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%, yes. Correct. Wait, what was I going to say? Michael Olise is better than Rodrigo? No, not that. Not yet. Hasn't showed it yet. One good season in, and it's not even a good season. He didn't even play the full fucking season. He played half a season because he was injured. With Crystal Palace does not stop what you do with Real Madrid. I hate Real Madrid. I can't stand them pricks. But Rodrigo is a baller. Absolute baller. Can literally score outside of the box, inside the box, both feet, with his head, so on. I like Olise. I like what I've seen from Olise. But not yet. Not yet. Goretzka has physicality that can keep up with Haaland. He is physical, yeah, but just because he's physical, like if you want to get a physical player, why are we not signing Akinfenwa to play midfield then? Like, if you want a physical being, go and get a physical being, but there's no other quality. That's the problem. That pop figure must be awesome. Well, it's a Man City pop figure, so no, it's not awesome. Because Bayern are too stupid to not fucking get them. And when Bayern do eventually sign that, I'll be buying every single one of them. Multiple. Our substitutions are better than most team starters? No. Definitely not, no. Who's on Madrid's bench that you're afraid of? No one. I don't think you could possibly say that, because Camavinga will be on the bench. He's a great player. Tchouaméni, so on. Like, I think it's... Yeah, if Sané had an attitude problem, then why is he here and Sadio Mané is gone? Because Sadio Mané was also very, very shit for Bayern Munich. That's one of the problems. He was crap.
I think it's more than that as well. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but he was crap for Bayern. And then you add on to the fact that he actually punched Sané in the face. Like, he was the guy that, like, you can have arguments. Like, we've all seen the Heung-min Son and Lloris argument, loads of arguments on the pitch, so on. But you just don't, like, react in this way. And in this day and age, you can't do that. No one will ever say it, but I'm pretty sure there is a video of Iron Robin not punching, I think he slapped Thomas Muller straight in the face.
That's not within itself, by the way, because they both are, like, greats.
Yeah, no one. Yeah, exactly, 1,000%. But they then carried on playing, and they won multiple titles together. It's not necessarily about that shit, you know. But hey ho. Musiala shut down the contract is scary. Scary of losing him, yeah, but I don't think it will happen. When Coman got hurt, Sane scored before Gnabry. Does that really matter who scored first, though? Like realistically, the Olympic Odyssey was the bloody Olympics. That counts. Yeah, but the Olympic squad was a young squad with Lacazette in it. You can't say because Rodrigo's not in the Brazil squad. No, he's not in the Brazil squad because he plays for the biggest team in the world. That's why. And they need him. Big up, bro. How you doing, Matt Channel? Comfortable with Upamecano? What the fuck? Exactly. We bought the wrong Frenchman from fucking Leipzig. And I'm pretty sure isn't the Match Channel a Liverpool fan?
Who?
Is he a Liverpool fan? It says Bristol Rovers, but I could have swore he was a Liverpool fan.
I have no idea.
But either way, Liverpool got the better player. They did. They were competing with Argentina. But the Olympics, generally, in the most respectful way, the Olympics mean fuck all. They really, really do. Like, it's just a medal to go and win. Like,
I mean, it's a nice medal if you win it, but I mean,
yeah, of course, but
nobody cares about it. Like,
no one cares about it to the point of like, it's not doing pretty well. Thanks. Good. It's not the the Olympic medal is better in boxing. It's better in running track events. It's actual sports, not like the fucking breakdancing, which is ridiculous. It shouldn't have even been in there.
What the fuck is that in there? What?
Don't ask, bro. Don't ask.
And listen, the only thing my country is good at in the Olympics is horse racing or whatever it is, or like that polo thing that they do. That's the only thing we're good at in the Olympics.
I did see some Saudis. 100%.
Oh yeah, a Saudi kid who was actually in he's in a school that I used to graduate in. He won a swimming race. And it went all over Saudi news.
Yeah. Not a Liverpool fan. I do support other clubs, but only one from England. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, either way, big up to you. The Olympics really meant nothing unless it was Spain, 1000%.
Yeah, shameless prick. Still.
Oh no, he is. We still have Muller. We sure do. Why does Max Eberl I have no clue. Why he's comfortable with the worst defender, I can't answer that one. But anyway, big up to everybody. Smash the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna dip. We going live on Zeta Talks.
Yeah, I just set it up actually while we were doing the live. That's why you were kind of looking at me, looking weird. Okay. I was setting up the whole time.
We're gonna go over to.
That's ready for y'all.
So you can make sure if you haven't already to go over. Communicate with us, and if you haven't already, please go over and hit the subscribe button over here. The link is going in to the chat now. Go over there. We're literally going to be live very, very soon. Literally, it says 6 minutes. He's got 204 subs. Come on, man. There's 10 of you in here. If you haven't subscribed over there, that's 10 more. Come on, get it going. Big up to 10.
Big up to everybody. Big up to everybody still, regardless.
100%. How is Endrick better than Odyssey? I didn't say Endrick. I said Rodrigo.
Who the fuck said Endrick? What?
But either way, there's the link.
And they want to be.
Peace out, people.
See you later.